It is February 29th, 2004. I'm in Port-au-Prince, the capital of Haiti, one of the saddest places I've ever been on earth. When they talk about failed states, Haiti is one of them. I'm there with my colleagues from ABC News in Miami. They're covering a revolution against the first democratically elected president of Haiti, Jean-Bertrand Aristide, a priest turned president who it turns out is just as corrupt as all of his predecessors. And for a couple of weeks, we're covering this incredibly violent revolution. I've just come back from Iraq, and let me tell you, Haiti is in many ways scarier than Iraq. It is so volatile, it is so poor, so desperate, things can turn ugly in a moment.
There is enormous tension here in the Haitian capital as residents brace for an assault by anti-government rebels.
That Sunday morning, I had my second interview with President Aristide. I'd met him a couple of days earlier, but we were doing another interview for the Sunday morning talk show for ABC News in New York. And we drove through the streets, which are normally roiling and full of activity 24/7, but this morning they were completely quiet, which we all noticed, and we thought that was a bit odd. And then we arrived at the palace to go through the gate we'd gone through a few days earlier, big huge chain on it. J'ai une réunion avec le président. I said, I have a meeting with the president. The guard said, no, he's not here, go away. And he was very nervous. We go around the back to the service entrance, try to get in that way. They didn't wait. They just put guns in our heads, in our faces. What we didn't know was that overnight there'd been a coup d'etat, and Aristide had been flown out of the country against his will. We turn around and try to leave to go back to the hotel we were staying at. And the only way out is this chicane of concrete barriers designed to protect the palace from invading forces. As we're going through that chicane, there is suddenly gunfire. I don't think the gunfire was aimed at us, but it was coming in our direction, and it wasn't clear where it was coming from. It was not my finest hour. I think I panicked. I was scared. And I don't remember what I said, but I do remember we had a security guard with us, a former military guy who had accompanied us in dangerous circumstances, and Haiti was clearly one of them. I do remember him turning around from the front seat and saying to me as I said whatever I said, "Shut the fuck up, you're not helping." And I realized at that moment that he was right. That when you're under pressure, when you're in a crisis, the last thing you can do is panic, because one, it clouds your judgment and you need to be able to think fast. Two, it disturbs others. It distracts them from thinking fast and making decisions that could be the difference between life and death. And three, you lose the respect of your colleagues, and they look to you to be part of a team, to take on challenges and to work collectively to solve problems. It was a really humbling lesson. The truth is, I don't think I've ever panicked like that since that day.